Mr. Xavier.
Oh, that was hot.
Who is ready for the craziest love story ever told? Ned's Declassified feels like an educational series that fully breaks into full-on kissing. The love story between Ned and Moze has so many more twists and turns than you could possibly have remembered. And the build up to the series finale is just crazy how detailed they get. But let's break down everything you forgot about the third season of Ned's Declassified. I covered the first part in a video before this, and I'll cover the finale in the video after this, but this is really the juice of the love story.
Simon, is that you?
No. See ya.
Ned and Moze not only kiss, they get full on in a relationship, out of a relationship, moving. There's just so much to unpack here. So let's get into it. Season 3, episode 12. So you remember how they're usually in two parts, like there's two 10-minute quote-unquote episodes to make up one normal production episode. Well, this one uses it to its advantage, and I love it when TV shows do that. Like, that's gotta be like a really creative move on the writer's part to somehow make a storyline that like complements itself through two episodes that are separate. It's called Boys and then Girls. Each individual episode gets its own 10 minutes. This is the best gender-bent episode of any teen show I think I've ever seen. And no, it's not just Cookie wearing a wig and calling himself Simone for literally like 50 different episodes. Now keep in mind, this takes place right after Susie Crabgrass moves away. Ned and Susie just started dating.
Teeth clean, see?
Things are getting serious with them, and she moved away. It was pretty quick. Now, because of Susie leaving, Ned is super depressed.
I need tips.
Who cares about tips?
And he says he's never going to write a tip ever again. So Cookie, Coconut Head, and Martin take Ned out for a day with the men, kind of like a boys' night type episode, which is actually really funny considering they can never leave the bounds of the school. Like, I can't believe they're able to make this work somehow. Ned says that he and Susie were supposed to go to the Rose Garden over the weekend, but cries out, then she moved.
Susie like flowers. And Jim. In the air. He's thinking about Susie!
Cookie decides the best way to take his mind off Susie is to go to like a manly place, which is the gym. Unfortunately, it's been taken over by the gardening club. So Moze is approached by Evelyn because she's having boy trouble. Guess who with? Haha, Cookie.
That you come on too strong. I do not come on strong!
Yeah, Cookie and Evelyn are an interesting relationship while Cookie has been pursuing Lisa Zemo, you know, the nerd-turned-hot girl of the Ned's Declassified universe. Evelyn has been crushing on Cookie. Like, she tried to kiss him, and he pretty much rejected her, told her he was moving away, which was actually kind of rude of him. But yeah, he's been dodging her every chance he gets, and I guess she could pick up on that. This show has so many relationship complications for a 10-minute episode, like, I don't even know how to get into it. So yeah, Moze tells her she's coming on too strong, and Evelyn is like, please teach me everything you know about boys, and everybody thinks Moze is like super smart because she hangs out around Ned and Cookie all the time. I don't get it because they're not popular, like nobody views them as actual people. Like they're so unpopular, they don't really fall into the regular zeitgeist, so I don't know why everybody's giving Moze credit for being friends with them. So they get all the boys to try to get Ned to smash a fruit, and Ned just doesn't make any effort. And Cookie steps in with like a really dramatic speech.
You're smashing fruit today because deep beneath that crushed heart is my best friend who told me I can survive anything. And so can you.
And actually gets him to hit it, which is funny. It reminds me of those like old classic movies where they're like, you have to get out your anger. Feel your emotions through physical activity. That's exactly what's going on here. They keep trying to get Ned to write tips, but he just still doesn't want to do it.
He hasn't smiled in 3 days, and he stopped writing tips.
Meanwhile, Moze starts a full-on business trying to teach women about boys, and the gardening club ends up jumping in to be a part of it, which is so crazy. So next thing you know, everybody is listening to Moze.
And the same goes for the boy who likes computers.
Then they have an idea to cheer Ned up by tricking Sweeney. They put $5 on the floor and then roll it down on a piece of string, which is so cartoony of them. Oh my gosh.
Nothing like a little teacher torture to bring that Nettie smile.
And then he ends up falling through the window, which is just downright absurd. This show is just going off the rails at some point. Sweeney decides to help because he realizes that Ned can't figure out his tips, which is actually a really sweet direction for the teacher to go. Like, he actually is going to try to help Ned keep doing his tips. Then in Moze's class, she encourages the girls to find common interests with guys, which is actually really good advice. They get impatient and start asking her about kissing them, and it's like, I don't think teenage girls were like that at the time. So the boys use the gardening club's float for Arbor Day to take Ned on a trip of tipness past. Oh my gosh. And this is when it gets really creative. They like recreate parts of Ned's discovery of the guide and like his 6th grade experience, which is actually really profound. I don't know why we got It's a Wonderful Life or A Christmas Carol going on in here.
Play along. We worked hard on this.
But that's kind of relevant. I like how we're actually like seeing how he's actually helped people, showing that like the deed he did was pretty good, like having tips for everybody. I don't know why. That's like a really good thing.
Gave up on the guide forever and created a tipless future.
Oh, giant monkeys, come on!
Well, it could happen.
And like I said, I can't believe they fit so much stuff into these 10-minute episodes. Like, we just saw Ned go through like 10 different scenes of depression and having a boys' night, and suddenly he's like going through the entire plot of an old movie. Like, how in the world did they fit that in? I can't believe these guys like did the production of a full-length show but only fit it into 10 minutes. It's insane to me, but definitely good for kids' attention spans. I remember like really missing all of these jokes like that, which is funny because like that's kind of how Family Guy thrives. Like, they're so fast-paced and they have so many jokes. So in the end, Ned finally has an idea for a tip, and it turns out he's cured. He's no longer depressed. It only took him 1 day to get over Susie moving. No, just kidding. It's not that simple, but you know what I mean. And the girls in Mo's class cling to the boys who were riding the float, and Coconut Head said they need tips about girls, which actually leads us to the second segment of this 2-part episode. So part 2 is just called Girls. After the whole crazy Boys Day Out episode, they just continue right where they left off, kind of like that Halloween episode I was telling you about earlier this season. Ned's anxious for Susie to call him once she gets settled into the new place. I guess they're doing long distance. He realizes that he actually has no tips on girls.
If you're a guy who wants to know about girls and what makes them tick, check out these tips. I don't have any tips on girls.
And that's kind of where the episode's plot kicks in, which is actually really interesting. Cookie tries to help, but Evelyn scares him into walking her to class. So Evelyn just bullies Cookie throughout this episode. She tries to be polite, but she just keeps yelling. Like, she's trying to take Moze's advice from earlier, which is fun that, like, they connected that too. Cookie admits that he's clueless as well and needs tips. Moze keeps offering this episode to help Ned and like give him advice that he could write down in his book about girl advice, and Ned keeps rejecting her. And he goes to Gordy for girl advice. Like, can you imagine going to Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents for girl advice? I don't know. I mean, he did keep a girl for like thousands of years. You know what? Never mind. I would go to Cosmo for girl advice.
I was talking about Gordy. He is a genius.
So Moze wrote a couple tips for Ned, who takes them to heart and decides to join choir and meet somebody new. He bumps into Cookie, who's dressed as Simone, which is so funny. I love it when he does this, but it's crazy how many times he does it. Like, I never remembered it being this amount.
I want you to sing the first thing that comes to your heart. Ladies first.
Ave Maria.
So when Simone sings in the choir, her voice is super deep, and Cookie can't even, like, disguise it. And then Mr. Combover, the guy with the really crazy hair, thinks Simone looks very familiar, but can't even say anything more about it. Oh my gosh, come on. Throughout this episode, Ned keeps getting signs that Moze is the one for him, which is crazy.
And I'll know when I see her, because golden light will hit her just right, and the angels will sing.
Oh, please.
She's also getting signs that maybe Ned and her might be a good connection, which is funny because they're actually exploring all these tips that are pretty relevant to the other person. It almost feels like a sex ed class in a way. Moze asks him for what he looks for in a girl, and he lists a few traits, and it just happens to be her. Oh my gosh. A light shines on Moze and the chorus sings, and it's this constant, like, these guys keep coming back, and it's so funny. Then at lunch, Cookie as Simone tries to approach Lisa and accidentally bumps into Loomer's motorcycle. Next thing you know, Loomer is frustrated, wants advice about girls because he actually likes Simone. Oh my god, that's so funny.
It's like you know how guys think and what they like. Well, I'm a complex individual.
You're special, and I want to get to know the real you.
No, you don't. Trust me.
Yeah, Loomer is obsessed with Simone throughout this episode, and it is just the best part of the show. So Cookie keeps using all the info he gets from Simone and applying it back to Lisa Zemo, which is so creepy when you think about it. Moze tells Ned that she's got him dates with several other girls, which, oh my god, Moze, you should know that, like, he hasn't talked to Susie yet. This is why... gosh, never mind.
I like kissing boys.
So Ned's like speed dating all these girls, and they definitely like don't work out for him. Meanwhile, he still doesn't really know where he stands with Susie. Like, they didn't break up or anything, so I don't get why nobody's like saying anything about this. Ned keeps saying his perfect girl is Susie, and oh my gosh, this is like such the beginning of the Ned and Moze love story that it's about to get real. Cookie ends up seeing Loomer crying over Simone, so he ends up being nice and giving him his shoe.
I ran into Simone before she left. She wanted me to give you these.
I don't even know what to make of this. Ned and Cookie talk about how like speed dating when Ned says he'll see the perfect girl when he does. And of course it just happens to be a moment that the choir's not actually there, the wind isn't actually going, he just has a crush on Moze.
And I got the choir back in the music room.
Why are you looking at me like that?
And then literally by the end of the episode, Susie calls him. Oh my gosh. There's so many tips throughout both of these. I can't even tell you if they're relevant. We got one is stuck on a project, take a break or take a ride, which is from the boys episode, which I don't know how that's helpful, but okay. And then never sit around and be bummed. Go out and have fun. Oh my gosh. Don't have mental health. Just go out and ignore it. That's what I hear. This one's a little bit better, the girls one. It says, girls, they wear shoes on their feet and smell nice. Oh my gosh. And they erased the tip in the episode, thank God.
Great. But there's one thing you forgot, Girl Tip Master.
What?
But then they have be honest and be yourself around girls. When around girls, listen more, talk less. That's actually a really good one. I'm glad that they incorporated that. And then no fart or anything around girls. Oh, okay, fair. And then get involved in activities that girls like. Okay, yeah, see, that's cool. That's definitely how you get to know girls. In this day and age, I feel like that would come across as creepy, but I think that's some genuine advice. Like, if you want to get to know somebody, you should just get involved in the things they are interested in. I mean, what's wrong with that? Then the next episode, we actually continue from the one before this. So even though Ned is having feelings toward Moze and starting to see all these signs point to her, he is still very much in a relationship with Susie, and Susie has started to call him again. That's why this episode's called Cellphones. Oh my gosh, see, this is the most topical modern episode that I think we've had thus far, which is kind of cool because this was way long ago. What, like 2008? Like, we were talking about cell phones? Now we're living cell phones.
So that's good. That's very good.
So, are you in class yet?
Class hasn't started yet.
So yeah, Ned puts together a schedule for how him and Susie can talk over the phone, which is so funny. Long distance relationships must have got so much more prominent as social media just like became more advanced. You know, like it's easier to contact people from other states and everything. Like that's a very like relevant to the time experience. Moze gets a new, more advanced phone because she's tired of having this old phone in school, which is so in her character. I don't know why. I feel like Moze would have an Android if this were current time. Like, that's just what she would do. She gets like a 200-minute plan for it, but she doesn't want her cell phone to take over her life, so she kind of limits it for herself. Meanwhile, Cookie wears a jacket with 33 cell phones attached to it in hopes of winning a sports car for this radio contest. And I remember this episode really well for some reason. I just remember like him having these cell phones in class and going overboard with this, which is super funny.
Simon Nelson comes from Polk Middle School!
Awesome! So, you're a teacher then?
No, I'm a student!
Great, but you gotta be 18 to play by.
So Susie calls Ned just as he's walking into science class and keeps getting him in trouble for answering the phone, which I don't know why she gets mad every single time, as if she doesn't understand that you're in school, like you can't just talk on the cell phone willy-nilly, and she takes it as rude and keeps thinking that Ned is hanging up on her all the time. Oh my gosh. And there's a bunch of miscommunications where she thinks Ned is saying like, I want to break up! Inevitably, Susie even hears that he's breaking up with her, when really he's just talking about the cell phone reception, and then his phone is taken away. Oh my god, I got so much major anxiety when I'm like even experiencing this. This is so real. See, this is one of the things where it's like parents nowadays would never get this. That's how they're left out. Oh, and then Moze puts Feynman's number as her #1 speed dial. You know, uses this to kind of define herself, which is, for real, like, I definitely feel like I was doing that at this age. Like, who was your first contact? And hers wants to be Feynman, but Martin puts his name in her phone and then starts talking to her on the phone by accident. And then she doesn't notice that they have a phone call, and he starts talking to her without stopping talking, which is so funny, and then uses up all her minutes, which he should have class. I don't know why this doesn't actually affect him in any way. Ned gets his phone back from Sweeney, and Cookie calls him from the bathroom asking Ned to bring him a cushion and some snacks. So Ned goes to Cookie and asks for one of his phones, which is obvious, and he refuses, so Ned just takes one of them. They fight over it, and then they end up in Sweeney's classroom.
They're a nuisance and only should be used for emergencies.
But this is an emergency.
So it's like all these trouble with phones throughout this entire thing. It's so funny. Ned then gets Moze to help him and Cookie break into Sweeney's room and get back all the cell phones. Ooh, a little heist movie. Wow, see what I'm saying when I say like all these episodes go to like 50 places? This feels like a 2-hour movie. The announcer tells them that he has to be 18 or older to play when he wins the car. And oh, poor Cookie. Sweeney manages to get him in and tells him that they'll decide their punishment later. After Moze gets her phone back, she only has 3 minutes left. And, you know, since Ned's having an emergency, she gives it to him, which is actually really sweet. Another reason she's the one to be with. But her phone battery dies right before Ned can, like, fully explain himself, and Susie is just like, okay, we're over. And that's kind of how the episode ends.
One last cell phone tip. Charge up every night. Because you never want a dead battery during an emergency.
Turns out Sweeney wins the whole competition and drives off with the prize car, which is actually so funny. Come on, that's so rude. I wish he would at least, like, give Cookie some credit. The tips in this one are never look at your phone when you should be looking at someone else. Okay, fair. Because you never want a cell phone breakdown during an emergency, which, whew, these tips are actually pretty relevant. I can't believe they came up with this. Okay, then the next episode is called Woodshop, which I was surprised they even, like, delved into this topic. So Ned starts making his own art project in Woodshop for Susie. It's like, I guess they're still together despite all the miscommunications. And, yeah, so he's just trying to get her a present. Meanwhile, this kind of changes as he starts to think that Moze is attracted to him. This is more so a Moze point of view episode, but Ned has some pretty important parts where he's debating if he has a crush on Moze. So the whole situation is that Moze is making something in Woodshop that neither Cookie nor Ned know what it is. So Ned kind of insists that it might be about him, and that, like, maybe she's just admitting liking Ned. Oh my god, whoa, that's crazy.
Hey, look, you've been talking about this for a long time. You can do it.
What if he doesn't like me?
He's gonna...
So yeah, Ned is, like, really nervous about this. He tries to go to Gordy for girl advice again. I don't know why the janitor would have the girl advice. And he's trying to figure out, like, what he should do. Like, is he over Susie? Is he going to pursue Moze? Like, he actually takes this really seriously, which is pretty important to the plot. There's, like, a third B-plot where Cookie finds this chop saw that is apparently alive. So he sees it in a cage, and it makes, like, all these growling noises, and Cookie just, like, runs away from it the whole time. It becomes a full-on horror movie with Cookie trying to get help from the guidance counselor, and even that not going well. Like,
The saw is not a she. It's just a plain, dumb, ugly saw. A poorly designed, overpriced hunk of plastic and...
him and the guidance counselor are just at the helm of this chop saw, which turns out to not actually be possessed or anything. It's just bad on batteries or something, which is kind of crazy. I just had to get this whole plot out of the way because it's just not relevant to the rest. So yeah, on the B plot, there's so many moments where we think Moze and Ned are like trying to get closer to each other, and it's just like one of those fake out episodes where it just never quite happened.
I think once I sand him down and give him a good shellacking, he'll love it.
He might.
Gordy ends up talking to Moze, thinking it's about Ned, but it's just a competition as well, and it sounds so awkward out of context, but it's hilarious. That's like one of my favorite jokes in the series. In the end, they actually have somebody come in to check out the rocking chair when Ned thinks it's for him, and he actually commits to being with her. He's like, okay, I think I'm ready to accept this gift, which is a big step for him that we do not talk about, and he just throws it away when he realizes that she's focused on the competition. So she explains everything that was going on, which very confusing. I feel like she definitely was giving him signs earlier. I don't know how this was misinterpreted. So the judge checks out the chair, and it actually breaks because of the chop saw that Cookie was fighting earlier. LOL, that's so funny. I love how they coincide all the plots in this 10-minute episode. Like, that's insane. And yeah, so they ruin the chair, and then Moze thinks it's Ned, and that's why she brought him flowers, which is the funniest misinterpretation, and that's literally how the episode ends. So this is only, like, scratching the surface of Ned and Moze's relationship blossoming, but you could see how the seeds have been planted, right? I'm not crazy here. And there's no tips in the Woodshop episode. Interesting. Okay, I guess they're just trying to establish plot at this point.
Young love.
Take that! Oh! Yeah!
So the next episode we have is Guide to Getting Organized, which is something I was not expecting to be so late in the game. I feel like this would have been like an early season 1 endeavor. You know, like some of the basic stuff that would go on in Ned's Declassified. I also feel like that's what I was thinking this entire episode. Not necessarily like it was bad, it just felt like it was just such a generic idea. So in the episode, Ned is trying to turn in homework that he can't find, which, of course, we all relate to that. And yeah, his life is just like super frazzled and messed up. Sweeney says the quiz was a warm-up because there's a test on Friday, which is the last one before the report cards go out, which is super, super high stakes. Sweeney offers to get this organization squad, the super nerdy organizational super squad, which is Evelyn Kwong, Albert Warrenheimer, and Lance Widget, which are like 2 characters I really don't remember seeing, but I know one was in Sweet Life. And yeah, they basically help him through every aspect of his life and like small tips that'll help actually make it better, which is cool when Ned actually has to get tips from other people. I feel like it makes it more of a rounded experience.
Always have writing utensils handy. Designate specific locations for your wallet, keys, and ID card, and never spend a minute looking for them again.
Ned inevitably ends up passing the test by becoming a lot more organized and just listening out to all the nerds. And yeah, it kind of helps him get through it, which is actually really positive. I feel like the best gimmick in this whole episode is the like most unique part of this whole show in general. Like they have a bunch of workers in Ned's mind, kind of like Inside Out style, you know, that Pixar movie. And yeah, they're trying to help Ned get through the day. It also reminds me of that SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob's trying to get his mind organized, and he's like, forget about everything but fine dining and breathing.
Hello? Hello? And what are you doing in here anyway, huh?
Oh, I'm his feminine side.
No, I think you're his side, all right?
I can't believe they got like a whole cast of like new adult actors to take on this role. It's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Cookie and Moze are teamed up because they really want their old Fruit Nola bars back in the vending machine. But the guy, Mr. Krabs, says no, and he's pretty insistent about it. So Mr. Powell gives them the idea to round up the group of students and start out a walkout. Oh my god, what the heck? I can't believe the old principal is still heavily involved in this.
If I were your age, I'd find a way to stick it to the man.
Yeah, all the tips in this are really relevant. And in the end, the walkout works also. So Susie and Cookie end up successfully arranging that, which is actually really cool. I like that they teach you how to do a peaceful protest in this. Was not seeing that coming. The tips in this one are get rid of clutter in your backpack and locker once a week, which, okay, I definitely think you could do that if you felt like it. Always go calendar and mark down the quizzes you get, the tests, and special events coming up. Yeah, that's definitely relevant. Always have writing utensils handy. Accordion folders rock, and lay out your clothes every night for one more time in the morning. See, this makes sense that we have an overabundance of tips. Like, of course that's gonna happen. Especially in an episode that could have been so, you know, like, in the first season. Everything feels like it's solved by the end. Ned gets super organized all throughout his mind. Like, even the adults in Ned's mind start helping organize everything. Like, it's a very positive outcome, but it's just like real life where it's like, just because he fixed it in his mind doesn't mean it's solved as a problem. A virus comes in and gives all the people in Ned's brain a lot more to deal with, and that's where the episode ends, which is kind of funny because the next episode, part 2, extra credit, actually takes from where that left off. So Ned has even more tests to accomplish. With anything, it's actually, he has more credit he has to get in order to pass the grade, which is actually kind of cool. I like that the stakes are super high.
Anything I can do to pull my grade up to a B- really fast before report cards come out next week? Extra credit.
And this is about actually, like, taking your grade and bring it to the next level. So all the teachers say he's gonna get a C+, and they all sign him an extra credit project. Ned wants to take advantage of this and actually make a project that can combine all 4 subjects he has to finish for. Meanwhile, Moze is bringing her volcano to Sweeney's class only to see that everybody has made an extra credit.
What if it were bigger? What if I took the extra credit volcano to the next level?
Oh my gosh, and she just has to go the extra mile and feels like she needs to get the better grade, so she decides to do something even more intense. She gets Gordy's help to build something even bigger. So Moze ends up taking concrete from a construction site on campus to use for her volcano, which is not safe.
Moze, that would mean knocking out an entire section of the 2nd floor. I mean, isn't that a little severe?
I'll tell you what's severe.
Meanwhile, Cookie orders a super large pizza for the cafeteria, and Ned realizes this is exactly what he wants to do for his project, by combining all subjects.
The perfect storm of extra credit.
And of course, Gordy helps knock out the 2nd floor. This does not end up working out for her in the end, by the way. They end up getting the main furnace up into the volcano to get actual heat, and of course...
Hey! You can't stand the heat! Get out of my extra credit volcano!
We see Ned bring his project to Mr. Powell and I-Teacher, who both grade it really well. The Dr. Xavier claimed that Ned made it for their class, and everybody suddenly is getting messed up about the situation.
Oh. No, he made that for me.
So in the end, Claire Sawyer comes in to defend Ned, which is a really good solution, saying that there's no rule in Polk against making one project for 4 subjects, which I consider, yeah, that's actually kind of a genius situation. You guys can't deny Ned at this point. Moze ends up getting an A+ as soon as she gives him the written part, and that's like one of the tips is that like the written part is just as important, which I would always forget. Yeah, so the tips in this one are just ask your teachers for extra credit. Definitely not something teachers would always just give out willy-nilly. Oh, and then don't forget the written part. So the tips in this episode are actually pretty helpful. The next episode we have is Fundraising, and I thought this was just going to be like a generic, easy episode where it's like, oh, they're going door-to-door sales, like doing something like that. But no, the plot is that they get a bunch of candy bars. There's a golden ticket in one of them that apparently has access to a TV. Oh my gosh, what a bad idea. That is like the equivalent to a golden ticket, honestly. Like, why would I want to go to a chocolate factory when I could just get a golden TV? Like, that would be insane. So yeah, Cookie and Ned end up eating all of them themselves.
We were thinking he'd take the TV and I'd take the video game system.
Well, you better start thinking about when my gym equipment arrives on Friday.
And honestly, that's a good plan. Like, I feel like the TV would be worth more than the chocolate bars, so why not do that anyway? But the entire episode is them trying to make up for the fact they lost all that money. These guys are so bad with money. It's been more than one occasion that this has come up. Even for teen sitcoms, like, I just watched an episode of Life with Derek, just an episode with Unfabulous. Like, I can't believe all the shows do this money bit.
Not a good idea to hold the carnival in the science room.
Bigby! That window is gonna cost you $45!
And when it doesn't work out, they find themselves having to pay off a debt that they made earlier, so it's kind of like this chain of unfortunate events. But I always love that in comedy. They end up even, like, collecting money for smashing a fake car.
Ooh, in fact, I'll call my old buddy Mr. Auto Shop teacher and have him send over a junker.
But then it turns out to be Principal Krub's actual car. Oh my god, that's when it gets like so crazy. So they just owe people more and more. And then by the end of it, they ask them to do them a big favor and be in their fundraising idea to have sponges thrown at them. And that's kind of a good way to end it. Like, you just have to do a little bit of manual labor to pay everybody back. But like, considering these kids just destroyed this guy's car, I feel like Krubs would need time to get over this.
Fundraising is tough. I remember I used to have the door slammed in my face all the time, even when I wasn't selling stuff.
But hey, you know, they're good teachers, they're good people, so they come in and help Ned, Cookie, and all them out. Meanwhile, the B-plot is Moze trying to do a good job at this, being a tryhard, and Gordy consistently trying to buy a chocolate bar from her. She's like on her last chocolate bar and cannot sell it for the life of her, which is actually so funny. And she will not let Gordy buy it from her. She's like, no, you're my friend, I don't want that to happen. It's like, come on. She's just so scared of being involved in a pyramid scheme. She will not sell chocolate to a janitor. Like, so disrespectful.
I guess we're not friends anymore.
I guess we're not friends!
Good, I'd like to buy one chocolate bar, please.
Thank you!
The advice in this one are use inexpensive or used prizes and ask local businesses to donate. Okay, that's actually a pretty good idea. We used to have to do that for the school play. You would like go to people, sell ads, and like make up enough money to prove your worth. I don't know. Now that I think about it, it's kind of sad. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just teaching kids like entrepreneurship and selling stuff. It's a fun feeling. And then another tip is if it's a fundraiser, people will pay to play. Okay, true. Don't get bored and make fundraising fundraising. Okay, so like make it more fun. I can't believe we couldn't just say that. The next episode's actually really fun. It's called Competition, and it reminds me a lot of like reality game shows that were going on at the time, like Survivor. This one specifically is definitely The Amazing Race.
The big continent competition.
It's all about competition and like how to play dirty versus play honest. It's a really good tip-related episode. And Missy makes another guest appearance. Like, she becomes Ned's close partner for this and is the one that pressures him to be doing the wrong thing. She makes it more romantic than anything else, which I don't think girls were that devious at this age, really. Like, they weren't just manipulating you to date you. Like, what the heck? Meanwhile, in the B-plot, Cookie is trying to get better at salsa dancing because he wants to impress Lisa Zemo, be her partner. And yeah, so Gordy is the one who helps him. He used to be a dance instructor. The whole episode, Ned is trying to be honest and above the negative traits that come with being in a competition like this, but Missy keeps playing dirty and makes him look worse. Ned and Missy end up losing, and she's like really angry about it, but you know, like he did the morally right thing to do.
I can't win like this.
I can! Let's go!
Nope. No!
Get your cute butt across the finish line!
So he feels good at the end of it, but wow, dragging Missy into this whole thing. In the end, they have a note that's don't enter a competition if you're not ready, which I think you could do more with this advice column. Like, the way that they all acted in this episode because of competition was crazy, but hey, let's not acknowledge that. I'm just glad we got a break from this drama going on with Ned and Moze. The next episode is Guide to Making New Friends, which actually would be really relevant in this post-COVID time. In this one, it's all of them have an interest in getting to know somebody a little bit more, and I love this plot. It's very sweet.
We can hang out, and it's free.
Like, the intentions everybody has to come in are great. We do get a lot more Ned and Moze drama, because Ned's whole plot is he has to get close to Feynman for the respect of Moze, because, I don't know, they're friends, so Moze wants him to approve of it. Her insistence on getting Ned's approval is definitely curious to me.
So I need you guys to be friends.
But we don't have anything in common.
You can't find a better potential friend than Fame and Fortune. He's perfect.
And Feynman really doesn't like Ned. We keep getting a bunch of examples of why this is, and I kind of agree with him. Ned is a jerk sometimes. I feel like you don't realize your main character is a jerk until they have other characters like pointed out to them.
I liked you. I told Moze I liked you when I didn't. We do have something in common.
We're both liars.
It kind of reminds me of like Brian Griffin from like Family Guy. Like they just kind of call him out for being a jerk. And yeah, that's just kind of what I'm seeing go on here. Moze's whole plot is she has no girlfriend. She wants to go to the spa. Ned and Cookie don't want to go. And it's kind of sad because it's like, these guys are all each other's best friends. I don't think you need to make new friends just specifically to do these activities. Ned literally tries to get on Feynman's good side the whole time, so there's a lot of good intentions there, but it just ends up looking more and more shallow and honestly calculated, so Ned is really not doing a good job. Gordy isn't a lot of help because he's focused on the weasel in this episode, which it's been a while since that.
My pin, you found it. You caught the weasel.
And every time Ned tries to embarrass Feynman, he ends up coming out on top and looking even better than before. Oh gosh, these series of events going on to Ned are always so consistent with like this rule of three. I don't know why, I just can't get over it. So Moze tries to connect with Missy, which given what happened last episode is not a good idea. But hey, like this actually looks like a good idea for a friendship.
I'll meet you after school. Why not?
I like that Moze is giving it a chance. She like takes it super seriously. It's like not easy to do stuff like that, especially in social situations. So I have a lot of respect for it. The tips in this are like, want to make new friends, rule out weasels, which is, I guess that's their way of getting Gordy to have a tip in there, but I don't really need to know that. Oh, and try school clubs, new lunch tables, and intramural sports. Okay, yeah, that actually is really good tips too. Oh, and don't judge new friends too quickly. I like these plots. Ned and Feynman end up getting along, and even though Moze doesn't find herself a new girlfriend, Cookie and Ned decide to dress up as girls and go with her, which is the solution to everything. Just dress up as girls and your life problems will be solved.
I like getting my nails done.
No, you don't.
Although Ned looks surprisingly close to the girl from Unfabulous, the popular girl. I'm gonna let you guys comment below that one. How about that? Then we got positives and negatives. Okay, so this is an interesting tip episode. It's about the science, positive and negative charges and static electricity, but it comes out in a lot more personality-based ways in Ned's school.
In fact, studies have shown that having a positive outlook on life is contagious. Makes people around you feel great.
There's a new character named Mark Downer, and he's a very pessimistic, depressing guy, and his attitude rubs off on everybody. Ned is desperate not to catch his negative attitude.
Unfortunately, negative thinking is contagious too.
And he tries to like prove he could be positive, and so he starts hanging out with Mark, and then fails completely. Meanwhile, Moze's goal is to get the perfect first kiss from Feynman. It's apparently not worked out the way they've anticipated, and oof, a lot of drama with that going on for sure.
We will kiss, and sparks will fly.
I don't know why this is not a step in the right direction for their love story, but Ned's just so focused on the Downer kid. He just wants the vibes to be good. And I really relate to this episode. I feel like trying to control the vibes, just making everything so positive is impossible, but people still have an urge to try to do it.
We live in a barren universe of nothingness.
We do live in a barren universe of nothingness.
Well, worse than that, now when I kiss Feynman, I get hurt.
Ned hooks up pessimistic guy with another pessimistic character, like this really depressing girl, and the idea is that two negatives equal a positive. And in the end, it does kind of work. Like, he gets them to kiss, and everything seems okay, but then everything is set on fire.
Yeah, right now, that room's basically an electrostatic time bomb.
What?
Kiss me now, you perfect thing.
The setting for a big kiss has to be just right. You must hold each other as the music swells.
And let the sun hit your face as the warm wind blows.
The whole B plot is her getting the perfect experience set up, and yeah, it's just kind of crazy. We get a lot of Fabio in this episode for some reason. Oh, because he's the character in the book that the teacher's talking about. So random. He comes back in Big Time Rush later. That's how you know it's another Scott Fellows show. But everybody trying to take control of positives and negative vibes is just so funny in this, and it goes so insane over time, especially when there's an explosion at the end. Like, what? Okay, at least Mr. Sweeney got like one extra try.
I went with Glenn Sweeney.
And since rubber doesn't conduct electricity, Mr. Cook can redirect it.
These next two episodes are what I consider the episodes that we have lost till time. Like, it's not like they didn't play, it's not like they didn't come out, it's not like they're banned, but these are the episodes I remember the least out of the whole 3rd season, and they've gotten such important plot lines that I think it's kind of crazy that we didn't notice it. Looking back, I feel like a lot of people online agree with me that these episodes are almost like buried, like we did not see them, unless you have like a really good memory and you remember key moments. But like Guide to Money and Parties has a lot of crazy, intense, plot effective moments that go into it. The first part is Money, where basically Ned, Cookie, and Moze start a company together just to make money. They want to go to this concert and none of them can really afford it, so they're like, okay, let's make this company. But Moze ends up doing all the work by herself, and Cookie and Ned just have like stupid ideas that don't end up panning into anything, honestly.
Moze can direct, Ned can run sound and lights,
and I'll be the star.
Give me the flyers.
They just want the short answer to get as much money as possible, which in this day and age, they would go on YouTube and create AI channels. That's what I think would happen. Meanwhile, Moze is doing the actual work and collecting real money for like babysitting and all this stuff that actually is kind of irrelevant now. I mean, Cookie's trying to figure out how to make money just through performance. Like, he's just convinced that acting and like being on stage is going to be his way into this world, which is so funny. Oh my god, they call it Fall Down Boy, the Democratic Rejects, Led Zeifer. Oh, this whole music festival is such a funny joke. I can't believe somebody like made up that in the props department.
I'll loan you the money. Just think of it as a friendly loan. Pay it back whenever.
And yeah, so Ned is stuck, enslaved to Missy this entire episode. Her bodyguards just to scare her, but Missy's pretty good at this. She's like, hey, like, you owe me interest, and like they're using the entire US money system against Ned in this episode, which is kind of crazy.
What I meant to say was I'm gonna pay you back in full. So bye.
Ned gets this like get rich quick book, which would be so something he falls for. I love that they incorporated such a real world issue, like the promise of being able to get money quickly. Like, so funny.
The government's paying me to eat oatmeal. Now that's easy money.
It's one of those things in life that is always going to follow you. Like, there's going to be like a quick and easy route and then like a difficult route, and we all just like to surf down the middle. Nothing too complicated, nothing too simple. And this is all like in anticipation for a party that's going to happen in the next episode. By the way, oh my god, how good are they at putting 2 10-minute episodes back to back, but like weaving a similar plot into them. They're really good at that. Ned and Cookie get in a compromised situation, but Moze ends up making up so much money that she could just pay off all of their debts, which, oh gosh.
You know, if you guys had pulled your weight in the company before, you wouldn't be pulling Missy's weight now.
We were bad and lazy.
We're sorry.
That should not be something you get used to in life, guys. Please. The tips in this episode are need cash fast, try babysitting, pet care, and cleaning services. Amen. That's exactly what they didn't do in this episode. Know what and when you're being paid. Okay, that's fair. I definitely think you should keep track of that stuff. And then hard work always pays off. Okay, fair. Yeah. Then the next episode is called Parties, and it's about Seth having this party in his basement. This episode is the one I do not remember at all, which is insane because it's so important. Ned and Moze kiss in this. Oh, spoiler alert, but you're gonna wait and get that information in a minute anyway. But it's important. We have to like talk about it. So Ned comes here with Missy. Missy basically forced Ned to ask her to Seth's party from the last episode, which is funny. It takes into here.
Ned, wanna ask me to go to Seth's party on Saturday?
Oh yeah, and then the basement that they were cleaning in the last episode, Moze, that's the party in this episode. So it's just crazy they like intersected that so well. But yeah, Ned really doesn't want to go with Missy, but hey, when he gets there, Susie Crabgrass is there, and he's trying to keep it a secret from both of them, but he really just wants to be with Susie. I wish he would just come clean, but he tries to make it work and goes from person to person, even getting Missy kicked out of the party just so he could spend time with Susie. This is like a people pleaser plot. That's essentially like his issue, is like he's just too scared to ask for what he actually wants, so he does what everybody else wants, and it is a horrible idea. Moze is getting ready to kiss Feynman at the party, which she still hasn't had like a super magical kiss yet, so that's really relevant considering the episode before that was all about trying to create that perfect moment.
Give me your special spin the bottle so I can kiss Ned. Don't freak, I just have to do a simple kiss comparison test, that's all.
And so her and Feynman are dodging each other all throughout this party all night. Oh, yeah, of course. Meanwhile, Cookie also wants to rig the game of Spin the Bottle so he could kiss Lisa Zemo. Spin the Bottle is always such a big issue at these party episodes. Like, I feel like more so in the early shows, like Unfabulous and Ned's Declassified, but, like, they definitely didn't do anything like this on Hannah Montana or Sunny with a Chance. Like, can you imagine them having, like, a Spin the Bottle type episode? It outgrew its welcome at a certain point. Cookie just can't resist. He has to dress up as Simone, literally again, just to, like, get Lisa on his side. And then he, like, tries to keep Seth away from her. Ay. Meanwhile, Ned is trying to get a slow dance with Susie, and that's actually kind of sweet. I feel like that would be very rare and not actually happen. And what is a middle school party versus a high school party? Like, this has got to be, like, the most tame experience ever. I'm surprised they even got away with this, or anybody's parents didn't question this, because that's what would have happened in 8th grade for sure.
I came here with Missy tonight. And she tried to rescue me, and I think I need to rescue her, and I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
In the end, Ned comes clean, tells Susie about everything, and it looks like everything does work out in his favor, except for in the last moment when Ned accidentally gets there when Moze spins the bottle, and Ned ends up kissing Moze.
Moze has to kiss Ned.
Luckily, there's a huge fire that happens from Cookie's wig, and everybody has to run out of the basement. But, yeah, Ned and Moze just kissed. Ned didn't tell Susie or Missy, so this guy's a full-on player, and Moze just cheated on Feynman. But we're just not going to talk about it, because it was part of a game of Spin the Bottle. Okay, yeah. So who remembers that moment? Because that's extremely important, and I don't recall this at all. When I watched this again, my jaw dropped. I forgot it even went this far. This is crazy. The tips in this are dress nicely, but be yourself. Okay, why is that a but? Keep your breath fresh and avoid stinky foods. Okay, I think that's in terms of kissing. And then get Missy thrown out. Why would that tip ever apply to me in my regular life, guys? This is ridiculous.
Okay, giggle all you want to, people, but you won't be laughing when your hormones rage and you have mood swing, body odors, and that embarrassing edge.
Name, Ned Bigby. Health problem, embarrassing edge.
The Spring Fever episode of Ned's Declassified is really cool because it's talking about how the weather affects our moods, essentially. And as a big mental health advocate, I really like topics like this. Not to sound like a nerd, but it's really interesting. It's centered around Mr. Sweeney's science class, and Ned and the other kids begging to go outside if class outside, and of course, Principal Krubbs thinks this is a sin and tapes up the doorways, which, by the way, can't be legal. I feel like you can get that confused with, like, a lockdown. Dang, we should have a lockdown episode of Ned's Declassified. Where's that? So yeah, each of the characters essentially have a plot that can only be solved by going outside. Like, Cookie and Lisa Zemo finally have a day together, but she's having bad allergies. So even though Cookie wanted to be with her, now she's back to her former self, and that bothers him, which is insanely shallow, Cookie. Come on. So the whole episode is him avoiding her because she's gross, quote unquote. Feynman and Moze are dealing with the aftermath of Moze's kiss with Ned, which, by the way, is cheating, and I guess we just don't talk about that fact. Yeah. So Moze is super conflicted, and it comes out a lot in this episode, despite the fact that she had made a decision already. But hey, you know, they just kissed. Obviously, that's going to be a big deal. And this episode gets really fun and wacky because it's just Ned trying to escape the school. So we have a lot of really funny montage beats of, like, him trying to do that and everybody watching. Meanwhile, Krubbs is, like, at the corner of every door all the time. Kind of makes me nervous, honestly. The episode ends in a sweet way, so, like, Ned and the other students basically use science against Mr. Sweeney, saying, like, it's logically, like, a better idea to be outside during class, which is really cool that they have all these good points.
It's important to build strong bones and teeth.
Yeah! Yes, I knew that.
And you know how quickly the weather patterns change. So if you want to deny the most complex life form what it needs to survive...
So Sweeney ends up standing up for himself in front of Krubbs and being like, no, we're having school outside today, which is actually really sweet. Good ending for this one. Pretty much every character shares a kiss once they're finally able to get outside, which is really angsty. I guess at the end of 8th grade, you're super rearing to get in relationships now because this is getting crazy. This middle school has become completely upside down. The tip in this episode is to have spring fever, asked to have class outside, which I don't know if you could just do that, but hey, middle school is a different beast.
Hi, everybody! I'm back from my year of living with the penguins.
The next episode is kind of revolved around a teacher. So Mr. Monroe returns after he lived with the penguins for a year. Okay, yeah, I barely remember this character, but I also started from the 3rd season, so what should I know? And this episode is Moze and Cookie getting Ned to join the school newspaper. It's interesting that Moze and Cookie like always team up for this advocate like experience. Like they both like to have a goal, go achieve it, and it's against like some bigger entity. I didn't realize that's something they had in common. So they end up joining the school newspaper, and they try to use it as a way of exposing what's been going on at the school.
Follow the maintenance budget.
What do you mean?
Just do it! I've got to get back to life science. I mean, an informant's convention. If you need any more information, knock 4 times on room 109.
Because apparently 37 students got sick last week, and Mr. Monroe helps Ned, Moze, and Cookie get the actual information about the stories, although he kind of backs out and lets them take over. So they publish for this first issue, and the school board gets really upset, not tolerating this. And oh, we see people in the school board. That's a lot more interesting, seeing like the higher ups. I wish we could have seen like the social hierarchy of all the different education systems. Like I didn't even realize they came into play that often at this age. I personally had a few run-ins with the school board when I was in high school, but more on that on another video. Krubs serves as the enemy in this episode, pretty much sucking up to the school board the whole time, making it so clear that this is why the mystery is not getting solved, guys, because Mr. Krubs is getting in everything. He threatens the school newspaper if they end up releasing an article about, you know, the negative things going on in their school, and it becomes this huge freedom of speech episode, which Mr. Monroe tries to remain anonymous and not be involved. When they print the school newspaper, they put him on the front and cover.
Ah! Why is my face on the cover?
Seth! Mr. Monroe was supposed to be an unnamed source.
Oh, I didn't name him. I just printed his picture. The other one was so dark.
That was the point!
Which is so funny, because apparently Seth did that, and he didn't even think about it, which is, I can't believe that. The kids basically try to collect all the school newspapers because they don't want to get the teacher in trouble. But yeah, too late. The whole thing gets out. It's a huge scandal that Ned, Moze, and Cookie, you know, we're at the helm of, which is kind of a cool idea when you think about it. These 3 kids making that big of a wave in the school community, like, that's kind of crazy.
Pool in your backyard?
Yeah, the whole thing's gonna cost about 20 grand, now that we're going with the expensive tiles.
Moral of the story, like, you should be able to say whatever you want. They find 20,000 missing dollars, and yeah, a bunch of people get in trouble. It's cool because we have like a villain in this episode that isn't somebody we've seen before. It's like this man that's on the school board who was taking a lot of money. Actually, that's going to end up in prison. That's kind of crazy. One of the tips in this episode is not a writer, not a problem. Learn the school newspaper. Yeah, I guess you don't really have to write for the school newspaper. You can still be involved in like pictures or like gathering of stories. It's very interesting. I never got to join myself, but it sounds like something like that would be really fun for any kid, like journalism. The biggest part of both of these episodes is probably the fact that Moze and Ned had another kiss, and Moze was reflecting on it this whole time. It really shows that stuff's going on, guys.
What are you so deep in thought about?
Jennifer.
Quick shout out to the C plot. Cookie uses the school newspaper's horoscope to get a bunch of people throughout the school to buy him gifts. Definitely a really funny subplot. If you know me, you know I like astrology. It's funny to think about all the signs and like which ones relate to each other, especially as a writer. I feel like it reminds me of like the 7 characters of comedy. It's a very famous like trope book. So all this stuff is very interesting to me. This next one is pretty encapsulating of the middle school experience. It's the essential health class episode, yeah, where Mr. Monroe is teaching, and he says that every kid goes through hormones, mood swings, body odors, and an embarrassing itch, which is cool because it actually has each of the characters getting one of these things. Ned gets the itch, Cookie shows up with mood swings, and Mr. Monroe has everybody do CPR with this really dirty, disgusting dummy. I can't believe this is even legal to have something happen like this. Moze's plot is avoiding using the dummy, and it's kind of gross.
Tomorrow, there is no way I'm putting my lips on that thing.
Name, Jennifer Ann Mosely. Health problem, doesn't want to put lips on Larry.
They even have like a whole makeover for the dummy. I don't know why this is even necessary. Yeah, Cookie has so many mood swings, but they actually address it in a really interesting way. Ned deals with his itch by, like, getting talcum powder and stealing it from Mr. Sweeney, and then him and Mr. Sweeney kind of bond, and everybody gets, like, a little bit of a mentor in this episode to help them realize, you know, like, it's normal to grow up and have these issues, which I really like. I feel like it's a very positive episode in that sense. In this whole episode, Cookie thinks that Moze killed Feynman because of the dummy, like she's trying to get rid of the school dummy, and of course, like, that has to just be an exaggerated reaction.
He got rid of Feynman because he's a bad kisser!
Moze and Gordy are caught carrying the dummy by Mr. Monroe, who admit he hates the dummy too. Aw, okay, I guess. But the school won't give him more money for it, and that's real. In the end, Cookie confronts Moze, Gordy, and Mr. Monroe, who all reveal that the body is just the Rescue Larry guy, which is ridiculous. And then Ned ends up not itching, but he turns out to have body odor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the tips in this is more than a class. Health is a lifesaver, which is so true. I like this episode a lot. The next is Guide to Jealousy. So after Missy is forced Ned to kiss her again, she starts acting like his girlfriend and gets really clingy and possessive of him, even though he doesn't really like her back. It's kind of crazy. He's like scaring other girls away from him.
She's crazy with the jealousy.
Keep moving. No Ned to see here.
And she's super funny in this episode, the way she like protects Ned. Like, look at all this. This is so crazy. Suddenly, Missy has a problem with Moze and Ned. They have to pretend to be in a relationship in order to get Missy off Ned's back.
Terrorizing me and innocent girls all over the school.
So Missy does not believe that Moze and Ned are in a relationship, so they keep having to make it look more and more and more realistic, only leading to more kissing and more connection. Like, I can't believe how many times they, like, just keep bringing this up. Can they just be together already? Cookie remarks to himself that he has a new girlfriend. Himself? Lisa jealous?
Oh yeah, totally goo goo gaga in love.
I didn't know. Well, I'll see you later.
And of course, he has this whole plot line with Lisa, and she's not jealous at all, except it makes Evelyn jealous. So yes, and this episode becomes about Evelyn being jealous.
Get ready to meet the perfect girlfriend who will drive Lisa jealous crazy.
And suddenly, she is possessive of Cookie. So it's a bunch of these girls being possessive over the guys. Kind of crazy. And this is the episode where Feynman gets in a fight with Billy Loomer, who gets in a fight with Seth, because they all have a crush on Moze. Oh my gosh. So everybody ends up fighting and fighting. Meanwhile, Ned and Moze are pretending to be in a relationship. And at the end, it gets really funny because it's like Ned has to fight the other three guys that like Moze. And isn't that just how the real world is, guys?
Hey, that's Jennifer!
And she's holding Ned romantically.
I think you might have a new problem.
In the end, Moze yells at Missy to stay away from Ned. And yeah, they finally, I guess, got her off his back, but the problem's not really solved. The tips in this one are be confident, be grateful, not jealous. Control jealousy, don't let it control you. Okay, so these are good episode ideas. But yeah, it's cute because it's like everything is kind of pushed to its limit at this point. So the final episode before our series finale, literally our 3-part episode where Ned and Moze fully decide to get into a relationship, we have the episode where they're about to get into a relationship. The first episode is called Guide to Tests, and again, seems like it should have been done in the first season, but okay.
So your essay exam will be on Thursday.
Thursday!
Ned has a major test in literally every class, requiring him to be a completely different person if he ever wants to graduate, which is definitely like very real. It reminds me of the SATs a little bit. So everybody's dealing with some sort of test.
A compatibility test?
Like, Cookie, for example, thinks him and Evelyn might have a chance together. I mean, mainly because she's been chasing him and he's been like, oh, I guess I should figure this out.
We'll find out scientifically if I'm your type or, say, Seth.
Where he is trying to see if they would end up in a relationship together, kind of obnoxious if you ask me. He puts her in this ridiculous amount of activities like dunking a basketball, pretty much driving her to have a crush on Seth. Okay, so yeah, they kind of end up together, which I do not see coming. Meanwhile, Moze's test is actually a relationship test.
My soul desires takes all my tests so my mom won't cry. And then drink this pink smoothie.
But yeah, so she's testing both Faven and Ned on this Cosmo test, which is pretty much asking about all their different personality quirks.
You're testing Faven against Ned with the magazine?
Ned is like focused on getting these final exams figured out, so he's obviously going to be focused on that the whole time. Very dismissive toward Moze, pretty much getting every question wrong, but it's actually getting her to question it. You could tell throughout this whole thing that she's like, dang, like maybe it's not supposed to go to my test, maybe it's even better. Ned becomes like a full-on nerd in the way the Getting Organized episode kind of was, but this time he is personally choosing to take on that lifestyle. There's a bunch of other nerds here that we've never met before, and they carry around a cult, which is kind of funny to think about. And then we have a bunch of tips based on testing, which is so funny. By the end of the episode, Ned ends up actually fully committing, getting all the tests correct, and then learns that he might have failed the most important test of them all, Moze's test.
I aced him. But I think I might have failed the most important one.
And he got a 0. Oh my god, these scores are not fair at all, actually. So yeah, it's just Moze having like a weird revelation about all this. Leading us perfectly into the next episode when you like somebody who's going out with somebody else. Crazy, but Ned realizes at the end of this one that he does like Moze.
What's the story with you guys anyway?
Okay.
But yeah, when he commits to liking her, obviously it's a big issue because she's still dating Feynman. And this is like a really sad episode. I don't know why, the idea of watching somebody go out with somebody else when you like them just feels gut-wrenching to me. I don't know how Ned functions, especially realizing that all of this is like out of his control. It must be really hard. Gordy obviously tries to intersect and help, but it really doesn't set him up at all.
We've been friends for so long, and going out could ruin that, and it completely bombed my boyfriend test. But yeah, I think I like him.
Moze is put to the test when she's told that Feynman might be moving. Oh my gosh. So now Moze needs to decide if she actually likes Feynman, like should he stay here or should he move? He wants to choose, he's either choosing soccer or her because she's the only reason he would stay. Meanwhile, Cookie is dealing with Lisa Zemo. She has a line of guys trying to get her attention, and Cookie is like about to give up until he decides to turn on all of them and try to get her affection. He locks them outside, and she becomes depressed, which is fair enough. Like, I mean, I don't get what Cookie is doing to this poor girl. Like, he wants to be with her one day he doesn't. He sets all the guys free and allows her to be herself at the end of the day and accepts that it's not going to be in a relationship with her. Except for when we get to the final episode, we'll bring that back. But, you know, for now, this is a big deal. So Ned has to get his stuff together and try to tell Moze if he likes her, but every opportunity dodges it. Like, he tries to go with flowers, but gets chased by bees. Like, it seems like impossible, and the universe is working against them. Kind of like that episode where he was going to give her flowers for the woodshop thing, but then it ended up not working out. Yeah, Moze is ignoring all signs now, because since that Cosmo test, she's completely got her eyes open and committed to not being with Ned. But when she gets the final decision to ask him to stay or go, Ned loses the race to getting to her, so Cookie and Gordy are the ones that it's up to. So he dresses up like a Cupid, which I can't believe the production helped him do this, and tries to get this note to Moze so she could ask him to leave, which she does. Perfect timing. So Ned and Moze are finally about to walk up to one another and accept their relationship and maybe be together. And literally the entire class starts clapping. Kind of reminds me of the Scrubs finale. They did something similar where they had all past characters come back and cheer for the main guy. That's kind of what's going on here, up until right before they're about to kiss. Susie
Crabgrass.
Yeah, Susie's a wolf again.
comes in. Oh my gosh. So the perfect end to the final episode that's normal of Ned's Declassified before the movie and or series finale. The test episode has the most tips I've seen any episode so far, but then again, I've only been rewatching the 3rd season. The first one is step 1, change your routine, put down video games, pick up flashcards, carry flashcards to make any time a study time, multiple choice, face the facts, don't second guess, the first choice is always the best. Essay, focus on understanding, less on facts. Oh my god, this feels like I'm reading like a school assigned book. It's so annoying. Got tests, take a week to be a geek. Okay, fair enough. You'll have less anxiety and get better grades. Oh, okay, fair enough. And then at the end of the most recent episode, we have be a vice boyfriend or a vice girlfriend. What?
If you like someone but they like someone else, don't be hopeless. Be a vice boyfriend or vice girlfriend.
School romances rarely last forever. Whoa. And then, so hang nice and be a potential date, not a real date. Oh my gosh. And don't come on too strong. See, that's the only one I think is relevant. Yeah, so weird. This is the last appearance of iTeacher, Albert Warmenheimer, Nurse Hunsucker. It's really sad to see everybody's final episodes, but hey. Evelyn breaks up with Cookie and goes out with Seth, and that's just the most important thing to remember about all this. If you want to see more about what happens next, check out my Ned's Declassified finale video. Thank you guys so much for watching Johnny 2000. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.